Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
Think fast, chuckle nuts. Boom! The recoilless rifle needs no real introduction. If anyone ever makes a stratagem tier list and the recoilless isn't at the top, then their credentials need to be questioned. The only downside of this weapon sent from the heavens is the stationary reload. Actually, using it makes the game too easy. Waiter, my lobster is too buttery and my steak is too juicy. Before we get into the details, a bit of a fun fact for everyone that shares an IQ with me at room temperature.
Yeah.
In Helldivers 2, there's an item called the recoilless rifle. But I can't help but notice that that thing kind of has some recoil to it. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not really a rifle. Why do they call it that, Gabo?
I'm not sure why they call it a rifle, because it's not... Isn't it a recoilless launcher?
Yeah, I mean, it is a launcher. Yes, it is a support weapon launcher.
This vexes me.
Now on to the meat and potatoes of this video. Recoilless rifle is a support weapon, meaning that it gently caresses your shoulder at all times once you pick it up. It comes down in a helipod, and so far I haven't heard any reports of people finding it naturally spawning on the maps, so that has it going for it. It also comes with a handy dandy backpack item, basically allowing you to reload yourself or an ally to reload you, but I'll touch more on that last point later. Picking up an ammo pack will only resupply you 1 rocket. Resupply will give you half your max if you don't have the upgrade for that bit. Its main function is anti-tank, or as I call it, fuck off device. Anything bigger than you most likely dies to this thing. The stationary reload it has comes in 4 phases, keeping you anchored to the ground for a moment. Fortunately, very fortunately, it saves progress after each phase, so you don't have to repeat the reload from the start if you do get interrupted. As for the best faction to fight using this thing, all of them. In truth, the recoilless is so versatile that it simply has everyone beat. The stationary reload can suck a bit against the bugs, considering they do love to close that distance fast, but the different phases of the reload helps with that a bit. Every faction has an enemy that calls for an FOD, some more than others admittedly, but packing it in every mission won't do you wrong. Other anti-tanks certainly do pack a punch, but their downsides will forever leave the crown atop recoilless's head. When it comes to using the recoilless, a good strategy is to go with the old reliable, aim for the really obvious weak point. There are a few exceptions to this rule and we'll go over them real quick. Flesh mobs are honestly just jackasses. They don't have a weak spot. In my testing with this thing, them fuckers ate 2 rockets because of that fact. Factory striders, 2 bonks in the head will take them down. However, most of the time, it's getting that second bonk that's the hard part. I saw somewhere that supposedly quote-unquote stubbing their toe will one-shot them, but I was trying to recreate that effect to little success. Actually, no success. I failed at all. I failed at all my attempts. So, you know, if you're better than me, which chances are you are, then give it a shake. Leviathans, the weird blue circle things on them aren't weak points. Supposedly, I haven't taken down the big old sky whale with the recoilless, but the wiki suggests blasting off a fin to reveal some supposed squishy bits, and then, you know, feeding in another rocket or hitting it with other things to kill it. Yeah, man, I'm so informative. I love myself here. God, I need to be elected for president. Impalers are kinda like flesh mobs because they're stupid tanky. The best thing to do is to strip the armor off one of their back legs while they're impaling, then blast them with a decent primary in that stripped leg. A few things you can blast anywhere as long as the rifle is in anti-tank mode, just because they do so much damage. Before we go into tips, I want to talk about the last 2 semi-hidden parts about the recoilless. First off, the rifle has 2 separate firing modes. HE, which stands for high explosive, and HEAT, which adds on anti-tank. So far, I've been kind of reflecting on the heat mode. The HE mode is incredibly niche. It kind of sucks. It does kind of have its uses though. You're trading off massive single target damage for a mediocre area of effect. And that area, I don't mean to shame, but that area is rather small. Use it as you wish, but in my opinion, you're better off sticking with heat mode. The other semi-hidden effects is team reload. If someone has a recoilless backpack, then they can perform the assisted reload action. It somewhat loosely anchors them to your side and they can quickly reload all your shots. It's kinda hard to pull off because it depends on you fellas not needing to run around. At a distance, I don't doubt it works. It probably would work like a charm, but with a bit of coordination, you can pull this shit off in close quarters. And that shit, fuck me dude, it feels real good. Yep, I was worried about this. Gabo?
Yep.
Take my backpack real quick. Take it real quick.
Yeah.
Team reload me.
Yep.
Gabo!
Go!
Fuck yeah! Now for actual tips that should help y'all in the field. First off, the Recoilless has a stupid long cooldown time. You need to dedicate yourself to this weapon. Refill its backpack with ammo packs or resupply packs. If you die and your cooldown isn't a minute or less, then go and pick that bad boy back up. Second, if you think you can get away with a reload, go for it. I would usually say be cautious, but I would rather risk getting shot by a few goons than not having a rocket loaded when I round a corner into a Hulk or a Charger. Small add-on to that tip, during the reload animation, as soon as the rocket icon fills up, you can just cancel the animation and start blasting again. By cancel, I mean dive. That usually does the trick. Third off, and this is really only a light tip that can be applied to every big boom weapon, but when killing Bile Titans, Leviathans, or any future stupid big enemies, be careful that the corpse doesn't ragdoll and crush a teammate. Am I telling you to not take the shot? Nah, you take that shot, you take it. But just, if your teammate is but nearby, just tell them to start praying to whatever god they believe in. Well, that about checks all my boxes. Recoilless really doesn't need much more explanation. The rifle is a simple yet effective anti-tank, instead of being a complex yet alright anti-tank. The truth is that every team could use an anti-tank specialist, and picking up this godly stratagem declares to the team, "Don't worry fellas, I got the big boy pants on." I've ran out of creative things to say. To be honest, I ran out of creative things to say a long time ago. I'm gonna go to bed. Oh, yeah, blow up things, and one more thing. I hope the few jokes slipped in here made you fellas laugh. Stay awesome, guys.